Spiritual growth means growth of consciousness.
The science of dreams and how it is connected to our human life.
That is why I said the subject of dreams is very important to understand the different dimensions of your consciousness.
Does a spiritual enlightened person dream or not?
And when you experience pure consciousness, the state of your being, in that state, all dreams disappear.
So how is creativity linked to dreams?
The source of creation is within yourself. And that is your own being. Once you get connected to the source of creation, that is your own being, your creativity starts creating miracles. Meditation is nothing except going beyond the whims and tricks of the mind.
Welcome friends. Today we are talking with Sadhguru Sakshi Shree ji, who is a world-renowned spiritual master and mystic, and just sitting in his presence alone can help you meditate, and this is testified by millions of his followers who have sat in his presence, felt the real effects of meditation and move into spirituality naturally. Thank you so much Guruji for inviting me on another one of these talks. I consider myself very much fortunate to be sitting with you and in your presence.
So nice. Thank you, Dheeraj.
Guruji, today we'll talk about something which is very much natural to all the human beings.
Yeah.
And it happens not while we are doing our day-to-day activities, but while we are sleeping. So the science of dreams and how it is connected to our human life. That's what I want to know from you today.
Beautiful, Dheeraj. Dreams have been a matter of serious and sincere concern for the sages and seers of India through the ages. And in the recent past, in the field of psychology, with Sigmund Freud, it came to be the most important subject in human wisdom. So it would be very meaningful to discuss on the subject of dreams, more so because it is a very important dimension as regards our spiritual growth. Spiritual growth means growth of consciousness. So to begin with, we all know that, as you say, dreams are a universal phenomena in human life. And dreams can be described as stories and images which our minds create during our sleep. And it is very strange to know that everybody dreams 3 to 6 times every day. It is another matter that about 95% of our dreams we happen to forget. And even blinds also dream. You will be surprised to know, though they don't have visions, they can't see, but they dream, but not through visions, but through other sensory organs. Just as in their natural life, they happen to feel through touch, through smell, and through different other senses. To understand better about dreams, I would like to emphasize the sincere search of sages and seers of India who discovered the ultimate truth that our consciousness is expressed in 3 forms. There are 3 dimensions of our consciousness. One is the state of wakefulness. The other is the dreaming state. And the third is the state of dreamless sleep. That is what has been called Shushupti. Jagrata avastha, Swapna avastha and Shushupti. So these are the 3 stages of our consciousness. And these are the periphery on which our consciousness remains. But at the center is our being. That is your soul. That is your existence. So there is someone who is passing through these 3 states. The state of wakefulness, the state of dreaming, and the state of deep sleep. One who is passing through all these 3 states has been described as Turiya, or the fourth one. And that is what you are. That is why I would like to tell that your being, your soul, your existence is at the center of all these three states. So, when you can learn the art of transcending all these three stages of consciousness, you will manage to reach the center. And once you reach the center, by transcending these three states of wakefulness, dreaming, and deep sleep, you will become established in pure consciousness. That is the fourth state. And once you get established into the fourth, into your own being, into pure consciousness, you become enlightened. That is, for the first time, you become one with the universe. That becomes your own experience. That is why I said that the subject of dreams is very important to understand the different dimensions of your consciousness.
Very interesting, Guruji. So, a spiritually enlightened person or someone who has already achieved, went through all of these stages, does a spiritual enlightened person dream or not?
Obviously, as long as you are on the periphery, when you are in a state of wakefulness, even in that state you are dreaming. You are not in a state of pure consciousness. When you are in a state of so-called wakefulness, your consciousness is obliterated because of thoughts. Thoughts don't allow you to awaken. And when you are sleeping, dreams don't allow you to sleep. And when you become free of the chain of thoughts, when you become free from dreams, only then you can experience the state of pure consciousness. Even if you manage to experience a dreamless sleep, you will not experience pure consciousness because you become identified with your sleep. You will have to learn the art of transcending your sleep. So, when you can transcend your deep sleep state, only then you can experience pure consciousness. And when you experience pure consciousness, the state of your being, in that state, all dreams disappear. There is no possibility of dreams. That is why learning the art of being in a state of dreamless consciousness is the essence of all spiritual practices prevailing in the name of spirituality.
Very beautifully answered, Guruji. So there are these three stages we are passing through, right? And most of us are stuck in the wakefulness state or the dream state, right? We are not even to the point of dreamless sleep, as you said. So dreams, as you said, are dreams just a projection of thoughts which we are carrying throughout the day? Or are there something else? There is something more important attached to the dreams.
In fact, we can say that dreams can be described as expressions of your unfulfilled desires, or they are expressions of your repressed thoughts and emotions, which you could not express because of societal, cultural, or religious constraints. And it is the nature of the mind that whatever you have not been able to complete during your daytime, it starts a process of completing them during sleep. There you are not there to interfere. It gets an opportunity to play its own whims, to play all that it could to complete that unfinished task.
Right. So, a lot of people face a lot of traumatic stress, traumatic experiences in their own life, right? For example, passing of a loved one or not achieving something which you desired truly from your heart, and it is still a little bit far away. And then you dream about these things, right? So, how is that connected? Do dreams help us get rid of these traumatic experiences or unfulfilled desires, or they are just chatter?
Obviously, whatever you have been thinking of passionately, whatever you have been dreaming of during the daytime, while you are sleeping, it just boils up from within. All that, whatever you think or whatever you feel, and that too if it is being thought and felt with intensity, it goes deep down your subconscious. And the subconscious reveals it when there is no obstruction during the sleep hours. And that is what becomes dreams. So your traumatic experiences, it might be the loss of the loved one or the loss of the love from that person. In every kind of such case, you find that in some way or the other, your subconscious is revealing it because it has deeply stored it. So it is simply a replay of what you had been thinking and feeling during the daytime. The subconscious does nothing except to reveal it.
And is there a way that dreams can be used to better myself psychologically? What I mean is, if I have fear of something, right? Like if I have fear of death, or if I have fear of falling from a high building and I dream of it, and I go through that activity in my dream and I show that courage, would that clear up my fear in the daytime also? So what I do during the dream, does it help in any way to clear out any fears which I have during the daytime?
In fact, the state of nightmares through which people pass and the experiences of nightmares in different forms is one factor that is caused because of your intense threats which you have been conjuring throughout the day. So, if you happen to understand the truth that dreams are nothing but revelations of what you have pushed into your subconscious or unconscious minds, what is needed to get rid of nightmares is very important, and that is you have to try to become more and more conscious during the daytime. If you become more and more conscious during the daytime activities, then your sleep will also become more and more free from the dreams. And if you are living your daytime unconsciously, your sleep is bound to be full of dreams. And as regards nightmares and fears of different kind, you must always keep in mind that all fears of our life are byproducts of the ultimate fear of death. Different fears are simply offshoots of the one great fear, and that is the fear of death. All phobias, all fears, all manias, they are the byproducts of the ultimate fear of death. So, if you can understand the truth that life is not mortal, if you can experience the truth, the wisdom that it is only the body that is destroyed after death, not you. And continuous remembering and realization of this truth through awareness can lead you to ultimate freedom from the fear of death. Until and unless you achieve this freedom, until and unless you realize yourself, until and unless you have the experience of your state of pure consciousness, you can truly not become free from all these fears and traumas. Modern medicines and psychotherapies can provide you temporary relief, but ultimate solution will be available only through experiencing yourself by practicing awareness, meditation, other spiritual practices which can take you to deeper states of consciousness.
Guruji, for people who are still stuck in this dreamland, right? And people think of dreams as good or bad. That if I had a good dream, it is good for me, while if I had a bad dream of a fear, it is bad for me, right? For example, if I am taking out my loved one or my girlfriend on a date in my dream, so I have a healthy state, while if I am thinking about death or something else, I may not have a healthy state. So are there good dreams or bad dreams, or all dreams just a projection?
You see, just as in real life, there are good events and bad events. So, in your dreams, you may be encountering bad situations and good situations. So, it is always better to have pleasant situations in life rather than having bad situations in life. Meeting good events in life always better than meeting bad events in life. Likewise, even in dreams, it is better to have good dreams rather than bad dreams. One thing, but always keep in mind that dreams are just dreams. Neither good dreams are to be attempted, nor bad dreams are to be attempted. We have to get rid of both kinds of dreams. We have to make an effort for making ourselves dreamless. Without achieving a state of dreamlessness, you can never experience yourself. So, as I told you that there are three states of your consciousness. One is the state of wakefulness. So, if you want to achieve freedom from dreams, while you are in a state of wakefulness, while doing every act of your life, you must try to remain conscious. You must try to be in the present moment. If you keep doing things of your life in total presence of your being, while doing that act, you will never be in a state of daydreaming. You will never be carried away by thoughts and overthinking. So, while doing a specific act, if you are totally conscious of everything about that act, then that act becomes a beauty. Then that acts become a joy. And that acts become a source of spiritual energy. So, remaining fully conscious of each and every act in a state of wakefulness is the most powerful path which can take you towards freedom from dreams during night also. And at the same time, the second practice which I would like to suggest is while doing things of life, keep the other arrow of consciousness towards your own self. Always be conscious of your own being. Even while you are listening to me, be fully aware of yourself while let the arrow of your consciousness be towards me, but the another point of the arrow should be towards your own self. So if your consciousness is double arrowed, you will remain aware of yourself. Otherwise, throughout the whole day, you are never aware of yourself. You are lost in hundreds and thousands of activities. You are lost in hundreds and thousands of activities. You become totally oblivious of yourself. If you are never aware of yourself, how can you be aware of your being? How can you realize yourself? Self-realization will become impossible. By practicing meditation for half an hour or 1 hour, you cannot realize yourself. For realizing yourself, you are required to remain conscious of yourself. You see, remaining conscious of yourself is the master key to self-realization. It is the master key to enlightenment. Try to understand what is becoming self-conscious. Try to understand what is the meaning of being conscious of yourself. What is the meaning of being conscious of my own self? It simply means that your consciousness is always objective. Consciousness being objective means that our consciousness is always engaged into some object. When you are with somebody, your consciousness is entangled with that person. When you are reading something, your consciousness is involved in that specific object. When you are doing anything, either your consciousness is engaged in something, or it is engaged with someone, or it is engaged with some thought. Your consciousness is never available to you. Throughout the whole period of wakefulness, either your consciousness is involved with something or someone or some thought. Is it ever available to you? As long as you are in a state of wakefulness, your consciousness is engaged in other things, not available to you. And when you go to sleep, it is either engaged in dreams or it is lost in sleep. You become unconscious. So, consciousness is never available to you throughout your life. It simply means that you had an opportunity to become conscious, but you have lost it. You have lost this opportunity. And that is why I have to convey this message to the whole lot of humanity, that this is the greatest opportunity which humanity should not miss, which every human must avail of. And that is, you have to learn the art of becoming self-conscious. That is the essence of whole spirituality prevailing on the planet. Becoming self-conscious simply means that your consciousness is available to you without your consciousness being engaged in something else. When it is fully available to you, it is not involved in anything, thought or person. In that state, you become self-conscious. And once you become self-conscious, you get a taste of consciousness. You get a taste of your soul. And if you can continue to grow this period of self-consciousness, and once you grow it to that extent that for more than 48 minutes you manage to remain self-conscious, that becomes the stage of enlightenment.
So when I'm talking to a person, right, how would I know as in myself that I am conscious or not? As you said, like self-aware or not. There are people who are involved in thoughts and don't even know that they are involved in thoughts. Then there are people who are involved in thoughts, but they know that there are thoughts running through my head. So what does being self-conscious or not identifying with the object, as you said, mean in a practical way? How would a person know in a practical way that how he is behaving?
In fact, this is something which you can simply experience. You can know only by experience. When you are in a thoughtless state, or when you are fully aware, that gives you a glimpse of that joy which you have never experienced so far in your life. Just as if I ask you, how can one know that one is in love? Have you ever been in love?
Yes, I have.
So, how do you feel when you are in love?
You feel exhilarated, you feel at peace with yourself when those feelings are coming. You feel really excited.
So, that is the state when your consciousness is available to you. You have some inner joy, you have a state of blissfulness which cannot be expressed through words. And that is a feeling, an experience of being in love with the whole existence. If you are in love with someone, you feel so joyful, so ecstatic, and being in love with the whole existence, it will make you so ecstatic that you cannot express in words.
Now, if I am in love with a person and I'm dreaming about that person in the night, is that okay, or is that also something which my consciousness is entangled in the daytime?
No doubt, if your consciousness is entangled with something or someone, that may happen to be a subject of your dream during night, but it has nothing to do with the growth of your consciousness.
So, how do we make this progress from the state of dreams, where you said, and then there is this third state, which is this, everyone has mentioned it, even in Puranas and in ancient scriptures, as Sushupti, which is the dreamless state. How do we make this progress from dreams to dreamless state for a normal human being?
Just as I told you that when you are in a state of wakefulness, you practice living and doing things consciously, and at the same time try to keep your consciousness erode towards your own self. Secondly, when you are going to sleep, you should be watchful that your night is dreamless, that your sleep is dreamless. For getting rid of dreams, you have to do something when you are awake, and that is trying to do everything consciously,
Be aware.
being aware while doing things of life during a state of wakefulness. And when you are going to sleep, you have to ensure that your night, your sleep becomes dreamless. And for ensuring this thing, the first effort is to remain conscious during hours of wakefulness, and the second is while going to bed, try to remember that you will always remain aware that it is a dream even during the dream. Or you can take a firm resolve that whenever I am dreaming during sleep, I will manage to raise my hand. If you go with this thought and you slip into sleep with firm resolve, say for 5 to 7 minutes every night, in due course of time, you will find that this resolution has gone deeper, has sunk deeper into subconscious. And when you will be dreaming, in that state, your subconscious will make you aware of the dream. It will make you aware that you are dreaming. You will be seeing the dream, enjoying the dream. At the same time, you will become aware also that it is only a dream. Or you will also come to experience that if you are going into sleep with the firm resolution that you will raise your hand whenever dream comes up, then you will find that you have already raised your hand while the dream comes up. So, becoming aware and watchful of the dream when you are dreaming, that is a very powerful tool to become dreamless. That is a powerful tool to make you more conscious during dreams. And once you start becoming more and more conscious during dreams, you start becoming more and more conscious during day, then the third step comes when you are in a state of dreamless sleep, that is Sushupti. Then you will have to learn the art of being aware during dreamless sleep also, because transcending the sleep state is also necessary. Without transcending the state of dreamless sleep, you cannot enter into a state of pure consciousness. So, what to do for transcending the dreamless sleep state, for going beyond the dreamless sleep? In fact, you have to know it that you are pure consciousness. You are not with the one who is sleeping. Your body is sleeping, you are one with the body, so you are in a dreamless sleep. Now you have to become conscious that one who is sleeping is not you. And for that, I have devised that bedtime meditation. So before slipping into sleep, at least for 13 minutes while lying on bed, practice bedtime meditation, and you will find in due course of time that even your dreamless sleep that is going on, and you are awake even during deep sleep. And that will ultimately take you beyond deep sleep, and it will help you in getting established into your being, into pure consciousness.
That is really beautifully explained, Guruji. I think that you have broken down the science of dreams in a good way, through which I think I can understand, and people who are listening also can understand. Now, for people who are dreaming, and you're saying that, through this dreamless sleep, we are connected to the universe. There are many people who dream of their ancestors or something from their past, which they connect to as a message coming through the universe or through their ancestors. Is there any connection between any ancestors calling from beyond the grave, which is a myth, or is it true?
You see, there are several levels of our dreams. It depends on what level of consciousness we are living in general. There is one state of dreams that we can say the state of individual consciousness. Then there is collective consciousness. Then there is cosmic consciousness. And then there are three more layers: individual unconscious layer, the collective unconscious layer, and the cosmic unconscious layer. So, dreams belong to the past of this life. They can belong to the past lives also. And there is a very huge storage of all our lives into our unconscious. That is continuing since the eternity. So if you go deeper and deeper into your unconscious mind, you will find that from the individual conscious layer, you go into collective unconscious layer, then you go into cosmic unconscious layer. So in different dreams, you can have experiences of different layers of unconscious already hidden inside you. So that is not the question of trying to take any messages from your dreams. No doubt Freud used to say that your dreams are meaningful and they give a message about your present life. And no doubt he was right to a large extent, that if you are encountering certain recurring dreams, and if there is something which is common to majority of your dreams, then therein lies the root cause of all your present life troubles. For example, or in majority of your dreams, if you encounter sex and romance or something associated with it, something associated with sexuality, and if it is so common, then he takes the conclusion that the problems of your life are rooted somewhere into dissatisfaction from sex. Suppose in majority of your dreams you find that you are eating rasgullas. So he will trace the problem of your disease. It may be your physical disease also. That it is lying somewhere that rasgullas are not being available to you. And making rasgullas available to you may solve the problem. And in 99% of the cases, he is right. That is why he used dreams as a therapy. He tried to analyze dreams and he developed a whole system of interpretation and analysis of dreams. Can give you some therapeutic relief. But the ultimate relief can be available only by becoming watchful of your dreams, aware of your dreams in such a way that you attain total freedom from dreams. So, ultimate freedom from dreams is essential for cutting the roots of the misery, troubles, and turmoils of human life. Rather than trying to interpret and analyze dreams, my emphasis is on cutting the roots of the dreams itself through awareness and meditation.
Guruji, you said that some people are more aware of their dreams, while some people may not. So that is the experience which people face also. That lot of people remember their dreams after they wake up, while a lot of us forget the dream. So is there a difference between a person who is remembering their dream, that they are more aware of the dreams, and there is a person who forgets the dream? What is the difference?
In fact, there may be many factors about forgetting the dreams. Some people forget it, some people remember it more vividly. The one factor may be that it has been found that the dreams, when they are seen during rapid eye movement while you are sleeping, in those moments, whatever dreams are seen, they go longer and they extend up to the morning hours, and such dreams are always vivid to the viewer, and other dreams are largely forgotten. Secondly, it may be due to the brain structure of a specific person who can remember things much vividly. But my emphasis is not trying to remember the dreams. My emphasis is becoming totally watchful and aware, so that watchfulness and awareness can offer you freedom from dreams.
So basically, you become more aware in the daytime of your own thoughts, of yourself, and ultimately, it will lead to lessening of dreams in the sleep, which is the objective here, not to go towards good dreams or bad dreams or interpretation.
That is why I said interpretation and analysis of dreams will take you nowhere. It will simply complicate your life. People who knew the truth of life, who experienced their own being, the sages and seers, they had announced that your whole life is a dream.
Let's get into that.
And they said that it is truly a tale told by an idiot. Your life is truly a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. When your so-called wakeful life is nothing except a dream, and they say that it should be treated as if it is a dream only, your whole life. And if you can treat your whole life as a dream, treating your whole life as a dream means there is nothing meaningful or significant whatever is happening in your life. Don't try to find out any meaning about all the happenings of your life. It is only your ego which creates the stories, makes it pleasant, makes it unpleasant, makes tragedies, makes comedies. There is absolutely nothing in your life. It is just nothingness. If your so-called life is nothing, it has no meaning, then interpreting and analyzing your dreams, how futile it would sound to them. And I have to tell you that it is entirely futile. It is entirely meaningless to try to interpret and analyze dreams and to get lost into that net of interpretations. I am recommending more powerful therapy, the therapy of awareness, the therapy of watchfulness, the therapy of meditation, which can cut the roots of the whole trouble, which can cut down the root of all your fears, all your phobias, all your dreams and nightmares.
Very interesting thing you said, Guruji, that life itself is a dream. And there was a movie also called Matrix, where the protagonist wakes up from his original life and into a new life, right? So why do you say that life is a dream? Because the consequences, etc., feel very real. When I touch myself, I feel the touch. When I love, I feel love. So why do you say that life is a dream?
No doubt a very relevant question, Dheeraj. Life has been said to be a dream simply because we assign too much of meaning into the day-to-day events of our life. We make them an issue of life and death. Something has happened to someone and you put everything at stake. And for those simple things, for whom you put everything at stake, ultimately within no time it is proved that you have committed a great blunder. You have committed a great mistake simply by attaching importance to that event. You start repenting that you should not have given that much of importance to that small event. And in due course of time, there are so many events of your life about whom you yourself start repenting that you should not have behaved like that. You have not given so much of importance. Somebody comes to me and says that this very situation which he is facing is so significant that he has lost his sleep over it. And he says, Gurudev, if I am not freed of this problem, I have to commit suicide. And when I asked him that you have spent 60 meaningful years of your life and simply give me 20 important events of life which have been so valuable and importance for you. He could never write more than 3, 4, 5 incidents out of his 60 years life. But every day people are facing situations, and about those situations they happen to put everything at stake, to destroy all their energies, to destroy all their strength into it. Ultimately they realize the futility. So majority of the things of our life which spoil our sleep are not at all meaningful enough to draw our energy and attention. And this we can very easily realize in this very life in due course of time. So sages and seers, they realize that after whole lifetime, whatever they did, all the great dignitaries who were on the deathbed, majority of them had to say that their whole life was spent in futility. No less than the greatest scientist Albert Einstein had to say that I have wasted my whole life, and if there happens to be a next life, I would never like to be a scientist. Rather, I would like to become a plumber. What does it show? It simply shows that it is because of the ego that we attach overimportance to the day to day happenings of our life. And just because of attaching overimportance to the day to day happenings of our life, we spoil the whole life and we miss the beauty of whole life. That is why I always say never spoil your sleep over small things of life. And if you ask me what are big things and what are small things of life, I will say treat all things of life as small things of life.
That's what I was going to ask, Guruji. You have said that most of the things which we are doing are not important. Now, there is a difference between, like, there is something called a first world problem, that I'm not getting my favorite iPhone, or for a girl, maybe I'm not getting my favorite lipstick. And then there is like real third world problem that, I don't have anything to eat tomorrow if I don't work today. And that is a very real problem, right? So,
treat all things of life as small things of life, and you will in due course get established into your consciousness. This is why Lord Krishna had to say, Sukhe dukhe samo bhutta labha labho jaya jayo. In every situation, be it pleasure or pain, whatever it be, you have to maintain your state of blissfulness. Let nothing affect your being. That is the meaning of taking life as a dream. If you treat whole life as a dream, then whatever happens is not going to affect you adversely.
what about those serious problems, Guruji? Like if someone has lost, for example, their entire business, now they are very much into a trauma, and they come to you and they say that, Guruji, I cannot sleep because everything runs through my head. Why did I do such a mistake? And therefore I cannot remain at quiet in the day, and during sleep also I am getting all these bad dreams that what will happen to me, to my family, because I lost my business. So how would you advise that person?
No doubt, pains and pangs of life are there. Bread and butter is quite significant for your life and living. But it does not mean that if something has happened, that should spoil your peace at the present moment. It simply means that let it be victory or be it defeat. In both the cases, you are neither the victory, you are nor the defeat. You are pure consciousness. You should remain unaffected by the victory or the defeat. This is the message. And you can remain unaffected only when you can experience that you are pure consciousness. Simply by preaching, you can never experience it. That is why preaching can never work. You have to experience, you have to realize the truth that you are pure consciousness. Lord Krishna had experienced this truth, the truth of being just pure consciousness. That is why he could say, Sukhe Dukhe, in pleasure and pain, Labha Labhu, in profit and loss, Jaya Jayo, in defeat and victory. In all such situations, you have to maintain your poise, you have to maintain your calmness, you have to maintain your being. And that is possible only when you have started transcending the dreams. It is possible only when you have learned the art of transcending the dreaming state while you are awake and while you are sleeping. Once you can learn this art of transcending the dreams, you can get established into pure consciousness, into being, into your own existence, and then you will feel that everything is coming and going. All these three states of wakefulness, of dreams and dreamless sleep, are coming and going, and they are not affecting you in any way. And then the whole life becomes bliss. It becomes just a play.
Guruji, a lot of people in the past and creative people have mentioned that they got a lot of answers in their dream. For example, Madame Curie was working on the problem of solving X-rays and she was not getting anywhere. And then she said that, I just went to sleep and I got the answer in my dream. And she wakes up and she writes down the answer. Similarly, a lot of artists also say that they get a lot of inspiration of songs or a movie story in their dream. So, how is creativity linked to dreams?
I have to tell you, Dheeraj, there is only one source of creativity, and that is your own being. The source of creation is within yourself, and that is your own being. Once you get connected to the source of creation, that is your own being, your creativity starts creating miracles. You become a deliberate creator of things around you. That is why it has been said that even scientists could invent something just because in certain moments they were placed in a state of total meditativeness or a state of total thoughtlessness, and that state was accidental in their process of searching the truth. They might not have started with meditation. They might not have gone into rituals of meditative practices, but they had such a deep passion, such a deep quest that their questions penetrated into their subconscious. And once something goes into your subconscious, and once you happen to get connected to your own being in moments of deep quest, innermost inquiry, then your subconscious itself brings answers to such a quest. And that is what happened when Archimedes was searching answers to his question when he was in a bathtub. It transpired to him in those deep meditative moments when he was taking a bath that the answer started vibrating from within him. And it was only then that he could say Eureka, Eureka, Eureka. He did nothing. It was simply the role of the subconscious and his deep meditativeness that brought the answers, the unknown answers. The never known truths were revealed. That is why the scientists had always been saying that they did not do anything. The truth simply happened through them. They did not find the truth. The truth happened through them. And that is what happens in such cases, that the creativity happens when your subconscious and the state of meditativeness is there.
So, Guruji, basically what you're saying is you get answers when what you're searching for, when you get connected to your own being. It can be in a state of wakefulness or it can be in a state of dream.
In a state of dream, how can you get connected to your own being? Dreams are simply an activity of your mind. You remain confined to your mind, and it is your mind which starts making projections. So, during dreams, you are confined only to your mind. You never manage to go deeper into your being. So, transcending dreams is essential for going deeper into your being. Dreams can never be a tool. You have to transcend the dreams. You have to go beyond the dreams. Meditation is nothing except going beyond the whims and tricks of the mind. And dreams are only the tricks of the mind to create stories and images which you had been thinking and feeling throughout the day. So dreams cannot take you to the ultimate reality. For reaching the ultimate reality, you have to go beyond the state of dreams.
So, Guruji, basically what you're saying is you get answers when what you're searching for, when you get connected to your own being. It can be in a state of wakefulness or it can be in a state of dream.
In fact, dreams are largely something which are associated with your past happenings of life, with the things which you thought, with the feelings which you felt. But these visions are something which are related to your future. When you become watchful and aware of your dreaming state, the dreams start disappearing. But when you start becoming more and more watchful, more and more aware in life, you start getting clearer visions. You can say you start getting clairvoyance. You start receiving intuitive guidance that comes from within yourself. So dreams are entirely different from visions. And these visions are an indicator of your spiritual growth. They are indicators of growth in consciousness. When you become more watchful, more aware, more meditative, you start receiving visions of the future. You start receiving intuitive guidance. And that is what happens. If you become well established into your subconscious, the road becomes so clear that you need no guidance. Your eyes are truly opened and you start moving on the path.
You touched upon intuition and spiritual vision. How does this journey evolve, where most human beings have this thing called intuition, and then it can get involved, as you said, as we become more conscious into a spiritual vision, right, where you're getting clear visions of what you should do. I would call like intuition as something that, I should eat this stuff or I should not eat this stuff, or I should accept this job offer while I should not accept this job offer, like the voice of my own being. And a spiritual vision is some completely different, right? So what is the difference or the stages how intuition involves into spiritual vision, or specifically for you, how did it happen?
In fact, intuition and vision both are more or less the same things. And it starts growing with yourself becoming more and more conscious towards your life. It is through becoming more and more aware that you start having a feel of your own center. Once you start getting established into your center of being, you will come to know that it is the center of this universe also. So, the center of your being and the center of the universe are the same. So, at one point, through meditations, through a state of ultimate awareness, you become the center, not only that of your being, but also that of the universe. And then there is no difference. Whatever you see is the truth. Whatever you speak is the truth. And wherever you are is the destination. It is only a journey of consciousness, a journey towards becoming more and more conscious to the extent that you get established into pure consciousness.
There is this spiritual concept, or I would say science fiction concept, of accessing parallel realities through dream. Is there something called parallel universes which exist, and can they be accessed through dreams?
You see, dreams are such things over which you yourself don't have any control. Have you? So, something over which you yourself don't have any control, how can you make it a tool for realizing something higher or realizing anything at all? Secondly, parallel universe is itself a conjecture. No doubt it is a reality, but it is simply an illusion as long as you don't have its own experience. So these are conjectural questions, better not to get involved into it, rather trying to know through your own conscious evolution and trying to understand the truth by experiencing, not through verbal conjectures and through verbal jugglery, is the better course of action for an intelligent person. So we should be intelligent enough while we are adopting a process of inner growth through meditation. We should learn to experience things bit by bit and then to experience the truth on our own.
Thank you so much, Guruji, about explaining in so much depth the science of dreams and the four states through which we pass on our journey of consciousness. I really enjoyed the conversation, and I'm sure all the viewers who are watching this would have learned a lot about the reality of dreams, the science of dreams, and how dreams are connected to future events or the past event which we imagine, which are not reality, as Guruji explained. We should all try to evolve towards a dreamless state, which is only possible through a journey of conscious living. So, thank you so much, Guruji, for having this discussion with me.
Thank you, Dheeraj.